What's up, YouTube, and welcome to my Hazbin Hotel review. For those of you who may or may not have heard of Hazbin Hotel, it's a show that takes place within the depths of hell, specifically within what's known as I believe it's the Pride Ring, is where the thing. Like I'll explain the rings in another video. If I haven't posted my Hell of a Boss video yet, then I'll explain the rings a little bit more in that video. But it takes place within a certain sector of hell. Let's just say that and focuses mostly around the titular location, the Hazbin Hotel, a hotel for wayward sinners looking for a path to redemption, as it's called. Um, I heard about the show for a while. I've heard people talking about the show for a while. From the pilot that I heard took a little while for people or it took a little while for it to get into production to be able to finish. I've heard about people who just scream the praise of the show. He said like the songs and the voice acting and so much about it was really really good. But as per usual with me in any show that I am told that I need to get into, usually it just ends up on my list, and usually it takes me a while before I get around anywhere close to actually watching it. With what do we call it? With Husband Hotel, I wasn't necessarily like going to watch this as soon as I did, but then I was with my friends in LA. We were just kind of driving around there. I know driving in LA, shocker. But we were driving around in LA, and my friend was playing "Thank You and Good Night," I think it was from the thing, and I love that song so much. I think like the vocals and so much about the. I know like the people who sang that song are no longer part of the Has Been. Well, I mean they're still part of it, but they weren't voicing the characters anymore. But just I thought the vocals for that were really really good, and I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna give the show a shot. Like I've been putting off watching the show for long enough. The show is not like terribly long, I realized. So I'm like, yeah, I'll give it a shot. I'll give it a watch. And I ended up absolutely loving it. I feel like the characters are so chaotic and funny. I think that the songs in it are very good. Um Overall just a very, very good show. I grew to like a lot of the characters. I like Charlie, I liked Alistair, I liked Vox. I mean, not really liked Vox, but I mean, like, I thought he was an interesting character. At least he was a very interesting villain, and kind of like I like the contrast, like radio versus TV, that he had with Alistair throughout the show. And I'm sure all these words are probably foreign to a lot of people who haven't watched the show. Just I would highly recommend the show. It's a very good show, and if you want a show that's kind of a lot about the people, and that's a lot about getting characters getting together and all about redemption, then this show is very much for you. Um, if I had to like critique the show for anything, my only critique is that it maybe moves a little bit too fast. But I mean, if you like that in the show, then you'll love that in Hazbin Hotel. It's the show knows what it wants to do from the moment that you watch that first episode. It will blitz through its story, and you'll miss so much if you blink. So I ended up like going back to rewatch a lot of stuff because I'm just like, what the heck did I just see? Um, so like it blitzes through, but unfortunately because of that, you don't really get a lot of time to like get to know you get to know the characters decently well throughout the show. And I say like we know the characters very, very well and understand their arc by the time we get to the end. But really like we don't really get that like not so much there's no substance, but like we don't really get that like deep connection to the characters that I kind of wish that we could have. And I feel like a lot of these characters have the potential to become really like deep and interesting. And I'm sure they probably will when their season 2 comes out. But I just always found it hard to kind of connect with a lot of these characters because we were just all moving so fast. Like so many players just like go, 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 go. And I got to like the characters. I got to like the show and the story. I just wish that we could have spent a little bit more time with them. But, we'll be getting more time with them soon enough. So, if you're willing to be patient with when season 2 comes out, then give the show a watch. I highly recommend it. Um, the other like plot line, I guess, with it, in addition to the Redemption Hotel, is that there's a war that exists in it between heaven and hell. It's the fight to have redemption, and the people of heaven are just like, yeah, no, we deem you as irredeemable, and there's no way that anyone can actually change. And the show kind of goes like, no, we can change. We have the potential if you just give us that shot. And I like that as a message. I like that as a general theme for the show and the story. It's like no, everyone has the ability to change their ways. Everyone has the ability to become the best version of themselves that they possibly can, and I like the way that they do that and show that throughout the show. It's a very neat blurring of the line between good and evil that the show does, of just like it's the the archetypes that that we inherently attribute with being good is kind of turned on its head, as well as what we'd interpret as sinful or as evil. And kind of we see how they embrace both and kind of make a type of character that I don't think I've seen in any other show before. So I would highly recommend the show, if nothing else for the songs. I think the songs are also just bop after bop after bop and just so good. Um, and yeah, that's really all I actually have to say about it. There are like characters in it I could go into more, but really, I don't really know the characters like that well from what we have. It's just like we have Lucifer who exists in the show, and it's like great, he exists. He has depression. Cool. I wish we could know more about him and about his connection to Lilith, but we never get to learn that by the end of the show. So who knows? So there's that. There's Charlie, who's the daughter of Lucifer and who's our main character. Who again, like we get like she's a very bright, happy personality, but it's also like, but why though? Like where did this come? Like she's inspired by her father and is like, oh, I want to be able to create a world I want to do what's best for my people in hell, and she does her best to do that in her very bright, positive way. But really, that's about all I got for her. And a bunch of the characters just like interesting plot lines and so many interesting things to get to know about these characters, but just like not a whole lot to really like get that like deep, deep connection to them. That's like my other like just big critique of the show. Like I love the characters and pieces all the same, and I would recommend the show absolutely. I just wish we could have gotten a little bit more with these characters. So yeah, would highly recommend the show. I'd give the show maybe like a solid like 8 to 8.5 out of 10, just for us not really getting deep in the characters. Like I like the lore and I like the story, but usually what sells a show for me is its characters, and the characters are strong. I just think that they definitely have the potential to become a lot stronger, and I'm sure as we get more seasons for them and as we get more episodes for them, that critique will kind of fizzle and dissipate as it goes on. But for now, that is my general critique, my general review of the show. Um, yeah, would highly recommend the show for people to watch. If you're ready to have your heart absolutely ripped from your chest at so many different scenes with the romance elements and that kind of thing, then get ready for it. And that being said, we'll wrap that up here. Thank you guys so much for watching this short little video. I'm sorry, like I didn't have like a whole lot to say for Hazbin Hotel. If you guys have any things you guys want me to talk about with it in the comments below, let me know. I'd highly recommend the show, like I said, and I'm happy to come back to talk about it anytime soon. Expect there's probably going to be like a bunch of covers that happen on this channel for it. And yeah, let me know also down below, what are your theories for Alistair? Like, what's up with him as a character? I'd love to hear your thoughts down below for what you think is going to happen for the next season and what you think is going on with a lot of the different